I want to go across to Aparijita Sarangi and Mr. Vethalingam, who's a Congress Member of Parliament. Both of them, viewers, were on this panel. We are also joined by Abhijit Iyer Mitra, who is looked at the national security implications of this very closely. And we also have with us a TMC supporter or sympathizer, not a supporter, and analyst Monojit Mondol, who has been extremely sharp coming up with his responses to questions that have been posed. So we have a very good panel tonight, and we're going to have a very interesting debate. So let me first begin with you, Ms. Sarangi, and let me ask you, is this a kangaroo court that was set up to make an example of a person who has, in her own words, courageously stood up to Mr. Modi and the BJP? Straight question to you.
A very good evening. I'm very happy that you have brought up this issue, and I'm really dismayed at the idea of this being a kangaroo court. See, under Rule 233 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha, Honorable Speaker actually directs the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Privileges and Ethics to take up a particular matter. So, under this rule, Honorable Speaker asks the Ethics Committee to take up the matter pertaining to Mahua Moitra. And thereafter, you are aware of the fact that there were 3 sittings, and this is a very serious matter, I underscore. The first sitting was on 26th of October when we heard the 2 defendants, Mr. Dehad Rai and Honorable MP, Mr. Nishikant Dubey. They were heard at length. And thereafter, on 2nd of November, we had invited Madam Mahua Moitra to come and answer the questions of the chairman. And I tell you, the chairman asked her many questions, and I must say with all conviction at my command, I'm a member of the committee, I'm a witness to the entire conversation. The chairman confined all his questions to the content of the affidavit filed by Darshan Hiranandani. And you know, in English, we are aware of the fact there is an expression, a beautiful expression, opportunity of being heard should be given to everybody. So we gave her the opportunity of being heard on 2nd of November. She spoke at length. You know, she spoke for 1 hour about her private life, well and good. And then suddenly she lost her cool, and the entire world knows what happened thereafter. She used all kinds of unparliamentary words for the chairman and other members of the committee. And thereafter, today, 9th November, there was a draft report. We had read the report. There was voting. Today, there was voting on 26th of October, and there was voting on 2nd of November also.
Let me ask you, Ms. Sarangi, why wasn't Hiranandani asked to depose? Why wasn't he called, summoned, etc., and then questioned by all of you? And has he furnished any evidence to back his claims?
Again, a very good question. I knew you would ask this. See, I must tell you that there has been an affidavit duly signed by Hiranandani on 20th of October. Now, this is a sworn affidavit, I underscore, and this has been signed in presence of the Vice Consul of the Consulate General of India in Dubai. Right. So, once the affidavit has been given, sworn by the person concerned, duly signed before a very senior officer of the Indian Foreign Service, there is no need to cross-examine that person, number 1. Number 2, though you have not asked, I will definitely like to go forward and say, the committee had also decided to consult 3 ministries in this matter to get into the details. You know, there are technical issues also, so we wanted to get into the details of the matter. So we actually got a report from the MHA. We called for answers from Ministry of IT. We also called for answers from Ministry of External Affairs. So there were reports from these 3 ministries, and the reports were looked into. The Hiranandani affidavit was looked into, and then the 2 complainants and the defendant were heard at length, and thereafter the report had been prepared. So I don't think this particular thing has been done in hurry, and enough application of mind has been done.
The one thing that one needs to point out,
we all have discussed the matter.
Okay, the one thing that needs to be pointed out is that the scope of this committee was limited. All they wanted to know was that was a breach of parliamentary conduct of Lok Sabha rules, did it take place because Ms. Moitra decided to hand her login to another person. That was really the remit. Am I right or am I wrong? Ms. Sarangi, very quickly, because I want to bring in Mr. Vaithilingam.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So it didn't matter if money changed hands.
Sharing of login credentials.
Yes. It was a very, and that's why the Methi ministry.
It does matter.
That's
it
why.
It does matter.
Yeah, 1 second. It wasn't
I'm
germane to your investigation if money changed hands. At this moment, you were looking only at the breach of conduct rules by handing somebody the login. The rest of the money trail, as the report quote unquote says, will be investigated by an organization that is empowered to look into criminal matters, right? Ms. Sarangi, is that the sum and substance?
Yes. See, Committee on Ethics is aware of its limitations.
Right.
We are supposed to look into the fact whether a particular parliamentarian has indulged in something unethical, and here unethical conduct has been proved. We are all aware of the fact, and then there has been contempt of the House, there has been violation of the rules of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha.
Okay.
And thereafter
so let me bring in Ms.
certain
Vaithilingam.
recommendations to the Lok Sabha Speaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Ms. Vaithilingam. Mr. Vaithilingam, if Mahua Moitra has admitted to handing her login password to a third party, I want to ask you, is she being hypocritical by accusing the ethics panel of bias, sir?
Actually, you can see it should be answered by the member concerned, but there is no rule how to use the login ID and password in the parliament.
There is no rule.
So there is no guidelines for this.
So there is no guideline. Aparijita Sarangi, there is no guideline. I pointed that out in the hard facts, that there is no rule of conduct that has been coded. So that's the end of the matter then. There's been no breach.
I mean, this is extremely unfortunate. This is extremely unfortunate that a senior parliamentarian is actually supporting what has happened. Very unfortunate. We should set everything aside. Any right-thinking person will support the recommendations of the committee today, right? Sharing of login credentials with your own staff, well and good. But sharing of your login credentials, your ID and passwords with somebody who is staying in UAE, he may be an Indian national, but he has residentiary rights in Dubai, and he has friends among foreign nationals. So you are subjecting your entire system
that point
to
was
problems
made.
In future.
Okay,
and
so you compromise the entire system.
Yeah.
You put it in the hands or the
Absolutely.
care of third parties who you can't vouch for. Monojit Mondol, how would you like to respond to that?
I first of all, I pity these men and the woman who was in the panel. I mean, look at the way the patriarchy speaks. The only problem that Mahua has in her life is she's too bold and feisty in her attitude towards these men. That's the only problem that we've been seeing for the last 5-6 years. And I've been speaking not merely as a supporter of a political party, but as an academic. It's the only problem of the patriarchy. And this person, I think, who has been a very good, administrator, in her life, she has also been acting as the agent of the patriarch. That's it. But what is the crime she has committed? And this, one of the panelists is saying that there is no rule for using such login credential, and yet for the last 1 month you are hounding her, you're pouncing on her.
Okay.
On the other hand, you are talking about empowerment of women, reservation of women in the parliament. She has been singled out because she is a feisty woman, bold woman, and she is an educated
She's feisty and she's bold. I wish the opposition had stood up and lectured Nitish Kumar like this a couple of days back, because he also exhibited the most cool form of patriarchy.
Of course, but it has to start from the top first.
Right. I don't know, Chief Minister.
What? And you are harboring a terrorist in the parliament by the name of
Okay, let's not go down that route now.
She is charged by the court of law.
Okay, Mr. Mondol.
Harbored in the parliament.
Mr. Mondol, the India Alliance, the India Alliance, as it calls itself.
Shame on this ethics committee.
Okay, let's not go. Let's not bring in extraneous material. Sadhvi Pragya is not on trial. One minute.
Pragya Singh Thakur.
No, she's not on trial, and we are not going down that route. Always we get into this Hindu terror route, sir. What is your animus against Hindus? Forget all that. No, don't make this religious. We are not getting into the religion aspect of it. Please, let's keep religion and politics out.
This is not religious.
We are sticking
this
to.
This is deeply pitiful of the men who are sitting in the ethics committee, asking personal questions.
We don't know first of all.
I'm a woman.
And there was only one member in the ethics committee. Only one woman
I don't see how.
When you are interrogating a woman,
there
need to be more
many people. Mr. Mondal, many people have said.
Interrogating women regarding her personal
we don't talk over each other, sir.
Who is also acting as the agent of patriarchy. That's it.